Yeah, underway we go. And lag for break, both wearing a glove. They're all the rage now, aren't they?
Yeah, it didn't
Really
happen in
catching on.
my day. I mean,
No.
never seen them.
You got taken the mick out of if you wore a glove back in the day, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
You were that guy, weren't you? You were that, oh, yeah, look at him wearing a glove. Does he think he is an American pool player? Or is
Yeah, you can understand it in hot countries with,
he? Yeah,
with the sweat, but
yeah, and the with the American pool, the cues are made of different stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, they're made of a lot.
maple.
Yeah, and some of them are even sort of carbon fibre, so you can understand why they get a bit stickier. You know, they need the glove, but yeah, it seems to have really caught on. Every other player now is wearing a glove. I tried it before, and I found it was too slippery. It was almost too smooth. Felt like I lost a little bit of control, but never
Yeah,
say never.
I recently tried one. I got given one by a friend of mine, and it was given to him at the US Open 9-ball. It's
Oh
got
yeah.
that on it, yeah. So I can't get on with it. Tried.
Wasn't Rob McKenna, was it, by any chance?
No,
Right.
it was, I can't think of his name. The referee. Give me the first name.
Referee.
Yeah. It used to be on the snooker as well. No, sorry, the 9-ball. You should always do the 9-ball.
I know. I know the guy.
Reese.
Reese. Yeah. Martin. No.
Ma
Something Reese. Gavin Reese. No, I don't know. I know the guy you're on about anyway.
yeah. And he had quite a few of these given to him over the years, and I reclossed his pool table, and he helped me. We had a good old catch up. I'd known him a long time.
And he gave you a glove.
He gave me a club.
Most people used to just pay you 130 quid.
And the rest.
So you see, Dean's made a ball off a break. First up, he can't really go reds. Hasn't really got a red to go at. So it's probably going to be yellows for Dean. Now, that's a good first shot. That was harder than it looked. Just needs that to slow up a little bit, and it hasn't quite. Now, top of the table, so top left-hand corner. I think the yellow just about goes past the red into the top left corner. The black, does it just go past into this bottom left corner? If it does, actually, it's quite an easy clearance, but he just needs to knock this one, and then this is tough. This is a tester. Yeah, he's just flicked the red on the way through. I don't think he had a full pocket there.
No, it didn't look like from our angle.
No. So.
Right, my memories returned.
Yeah.
Nigel Reese.
When you say your memories returned, what was you doing on your phone just then? Googling it, were
Yeah. It was a heavy night last night.
Nigel Reese. Nigel Reese.
Yeah.
So yeah, Liam's in now after. I mean, it was a tricky one down the cushion that Dean's missed, but it's amazing how often these top players always seem to make a mistake first frame against a Liam Dunster. Whoever the man in form is at the time, people seem to make mistakes against them that they don't seem to make against other people. Liam's almost run out of position there, but he's okay. He can recover this. I think he can. Yeah, he's got a choice of red still. So used to seeing the cue ball on an absolute string for Liam that it seems a bit weird when he runs slightly out of position. Yeah, very nicely done.
Oh, you'd expect him to clear from here.
Yeah, I think he's going to leave the red that he's closest to as his last one to just come up the table for the black end bottom left corner. Interesting to see what break Liam uses today, because he seems to chop and change a little bit now between this second ball down break that he adopts and just hitting them front on, front ball smash as they call it. He's taking his time. I think he's a little bit worried. Yeah, look, he's actually taking the outside of the two. I think he was a little bit worried whether he could get into the red enough to whether he could get into the red enough to screw past. He didn't want to be flicking into the one that he was right next to while screwing back, because it all could have gone wrong. So he took a slightly more difficult pot to give himself better position, and he's played it perfectly. Yeah. Cue ball on a string.
Yeah, simple drop in.
Yeah, just needs to stay away from that left middle pocket, but he won't go anywhere near it. He's just going to leave himself a little bit more distance. He could have got a little bit closer to that if he wanted to, but he's just played it safe. It's got quite a simple black now to go 1-0 up. One 0 Liam Dunster. What break is he going to use? He's rubbing his hand over the side of the table, so it looks like he's... Right, here we go. He comes over for his elementary study of the pack.
So cut break.
Looks like second ball down, yeah. Second ball down, he wants the white to go into that side cushion and come straight back towards the black spot. And he's come a little bit further up than normal. Has he made a ball, last ball rolling?
No.
Yes. Never understood why people do that. They apologise if the last ball rolling goes in.
There's nothing to apologise about.
No. I mean, you either make a ball from the break or you don't. But why would you apologise just because it's the last ball rolling, you know? Either way, there's luck involved, isn't there?
Of course.
Seems to be a bit of an etiquette thing that a lot of players do. He's looking at taking reds. You're looking at the three at the top of the table first, then the three at the bottom of the table. The tricky one is going to be the two central ones at the bottom of the table. How he takes them, which order. I think ideally, if he can leave himself dead straight on the one into this bottom left hand corner, which he might be now, to the point where he could argue he might even play it now, and then play the red into the bottom right hand corner and top it through, so that you're leaving the white over towards this bottom right hand corner of the table. But he needs to be dead straight on that red into the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
I think now might be the time for him to go for it.
Yeah, stop the white and or even pull it back a touch.
Yeah, I think that's probably good. That looks good to me. I mean, he can definitely top it through. It's just a case of how close can he get to that red.
Yeah.
And then doesn't want to leave himself straight. Needs an angle so he can get back up the table for the red into the top left-hand corner pocket. That's about perfect. Now he's got a choice. Does he come just to the right of the two yellows in the middle of the table, or does he come just to the left of them?
I think it's personal preference on that shot, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit. He'll know a bit better than us as well from how he feels from being directly behind the shot. We can see that he could do both. Playing it with a tracer left hand side, so yeah, he's just it's these clearances like this that he makes look so easy and so simple. It's his touch. Got such good touch in and around. Always to leave himself the right angle. Other people would have left themselves closer to that side cushion just then, so it wouldn't have been so easy for him to come back up the table. It's that hours and hours and hours of practice to the point where he feels so in control of the cue ball. He just makes the game easy for himself.
Yeah, you very rarely see him overhit a ball.
No, yeah, exactly. And cue ball controls everything. You watch these top players at their very best, and they can make the game look so much easier than it is because they're not having to play difficult pots. But the reason they're not having to play difficult pots is because they've got the white under control.
Yeah.
So 2-0.
Yeah, you feel that Dean has to pull out a clearance now to get into the game.
Yeah, he needs to win. He needs to win a couple of the next sort of 3 or 4 frames at least. Doesn't want to let someone like Liam get away from him. Had his chance in the first frame and tricky as it was, missed the ball into sort of not quite a full pocket. Liam's punished him. And then Liam's cleared off the break. Same old story, Liam Dunster. 2 frames, not made a mistake yet. So early doors. It's only 2-0. And it's Dean to break now. What he'd give for a couple of balls off the break. Park the white in the middle of the table. Nice, easy finish. Frame on the board. He's hit them really well. Really, really well. Timed them to perfection, and these reds look very easy. These are so nice. So he's got the reddies right next to now. He can play that. He can bring the white towards centre of the table. Play the red into the bottom left-hand corner pocket. He's got the 3 in the middle of the table, and then his last ball is the one down this bottom left-hand side cushion. He's got a massive pocket as well. That yellow's making it an even bigger pocket. So yeah, I really don't expect Dean to mess these up. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. And he's just going about picking these off. He's just double checked what angle he needs to leave himself. I mean, straight basically is perfect. This is kind of the last thing that can go wrong, really. Absolutely plumb. He'll top the cue ball for a few inches. Simple red into the bottom left-hand corner pocket and black into the right middle. We should be looking at one apiece. I don't know if is he quite gone far enough? He's made that a tiny bit more difficult for himself. I think he's all right.
He's all right there.
And he's sort of grimaced a little bit there. If the cue ball would have just been a couple of rolls more to the left, he'd have played it already by now. He's called his extension as well, so he's in a bit of trouble here, actually. I say trouble, it's he's just unsure as to what to do. people watching now will probably go, "Well, what was he doing? What was it? What was all the fuss about?" But when you're 2-0 down against someone like Liam, and you come across a shot like it's so easy to look at that and just, I don't know, can I hold it? Can I? I don't know. Can I? If I play it with a bit of drag, can I? No, I can't. I'll take my extension. I'm not sure. Gets down and just knocks it in and makes it look like it was.
Yeah, I mean, he thought about it and played it off the cushion, off the yellow.
Yeah, but he had to. That was
yeah.
to be fair. Yeah, that saved him.
It saved him.
Yeah, if he didn't have that, he was in a bit of trouble. So 2-1 over to Liam. Dean settled now.
He'll be happy about that.
Yeah, settled nicely into the match. I always feel like Liam's putting a bit of pressure on the ref, don't you?
Yeah, he's always hovering, isn't he?
He's always hovering over. He's going to check the pack and.
Which he's entitled to do, by the way. But
am I right? He's entitled to check the pack, but he's not entitled to ask him to re-rack them. Is that right? Have I got that wrong?
If he spots a gap, so he can ask the referee to close the gaps.
Liam Dunster to break, leading 2 frames to 1. Time running.
He doesn't like it. He's had a look at the pack and he's switched to the other side.
There's a lot of theories in America where they're breaking that if there is a slight gap, you can work out where the balls will go in to a certain extent.
Yeah, I've heard those chats before, and I don't know. I'm not convinced. I heard it before with Chris Mellon and Jason Shaw, and they were talking about it, and they both basically completely disagreed with each other. I think one of them said that if the front balls aren't touching, they won't break so well, and the other one said, no, the problem is if the back 2 rows aren't touching, then they don't break as well. They just completely disagreed with each other, and yet they're both great players. So it'd be interesting to see what Liam thinks about it, to be honest. Get his views on it. But a dry break, but not left an awful lot for Dean. I mean, does this yellow go into the middle? It looks like it does. It's awkward queuing though, really awkward queuing. But if you can get it and get away, I mean, yeah. So he's going to have to play a plant here, I think. I don't think he's got much choice. Yeah, this is tough now.
And the yellow touching the red, or it looks like it may be touching the red.
Yeah. So I think
that'll take some getting on as well.
Well, yeah, I think it probably does go into the bottom right corner. But if he can play this plant well enough, I was going to say he should just land on the ball that he's on, but he's playing it at a bit of pace and going up table. Fair enough. I can understand why he's done that. Played it quite nicely, but yeah, he's got a plant into this top left-hand corner pocket, which I definitely fancy him to get. His biggest problem is going to be bottom of the table. What he's going to do with these 2 yellows? They will both pass if he takes the bottom one first. But it's going to take some getting on because he's going to have to leave himself the perfect angle as well. Will they plant? Probably. I'm pretty sure they will, but then it's a case of how does he get on the first one once he's planted it onto the second one. So it's a tough finish, this.
shouldn't go down the side. I'd be looking at the plant, or if he gets too low, you can possibly pop the one straight in, the one near the pocket.
Yeah, so it's all about the pace on this and all this. Well, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's just where this so he can play the plant. If it was just about making the plant, I think he's going to get it 8 times out of 10. But the problem is where it goes after. Now I think if he plays it at the right sort of pace, he can push the first yellow over the right hand side of the table, and then try and. I don't think it was on. I don't know. I thought if anything, he had to play it at pace and bring the white round 2 cushions towards the centre of the table again. But it's easy from up here, isn't it?
Yeah, you win every frame from this position.
Yeah, never missed in the comment. Actually, I have missed a couple of times in the commentary box. They've called a few wrong. But yeah, so Liam Dunster's back in. They're all in the open, but they kind of need. They need getting on. These the 2 at the top left-hand side of the table. How does he get into them? Which ball's he going to use to get onto them? I think maybe he can just play the one closest to the top left corner pocket. Maybe just about goes. Trace aside, can swing it in. Not many people were back against Liam taking a 3-1 lead here. The problem I can see here is he has got to play this at a bit of pace.
On the right, left-hand side.
Yeah, it's a far better shot than it looked, wasn't it? That.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he'll play up the left-hand side of the table now.
Yeah,
You know,
perfect.
from this position.
Well, he'll have a choice or two as well. You see, he's just looking down. He's not quite sure whether he can. If he leaves him. And the other thing is, if he does play that, he's going to graze off the other one. It's a little bit hard to control the white. If he's got the perfect angle, I think you're right. He's just going to land on this left-hand side cushion and give himself a choice of 2. Perfect. Yeah, and the game's so easy when the white's on a string.
Do you remember when you could do that when you were younger?
Yeah, I do. I do remember. Yeah, a feeling that it's quite a few years ago now where I felt like I had the white on a string. Like a distant memory.
He's not missing.
No. Yeah, still not. Still yet to make a mistake. 3-1 Liam Dunster. And he's just almost like, he's just a machine, isn't he? He's just an absolute machine.
It's frame 5, Dean Shields to break.
Dean Shields to break, trailing 3 frames to 1. Time running.
Needs a ball.
couple of yellows.
Yeah, it's a nice break. It's a nice split. Bit of a problem area in and around the black spot, but he's made a ball. I think the reds might even sort of go once they kind of, if he can take the one next to the black, second last, top through into the yellow just below it. That could be his last two balls. You always kind of used to do a bit of coaching, didn't you, back in the day? And I think that's you kind of try and work backwards from the black, don't you?
That's right.
Yeah. So here's reds. It's just not quite come far enough to. Does he go up into it now? There's almost an argument there for. Well, I don't know. I think they still go. But the problem is he wanted to take the two reds in the top of the table first, and he don't have to be going back up the table now.
Yeah. Just didn't have an angle for that.
Yeah.
And if he played the shot he just played a bit harder, he would really opened up the balls there.
Yeah, and it's kind of you think, could he have maybe just played that shot with a bit more conviction and gone into the black and the red together? But he's played a good shot there. The problem is he feels like he's having to do tricky. You don't know when you see what Liam just did. Liam's took out a couple of finishes that he's made look very easy, but they were just as tricky as this. But his cue ball's on a string, and he's just making life easy for himself. Dean's almost feels like he's sort of trying to dig himself out of a hole a little bit, but he's doing it, and he's getting there. Rakes of top and left hand side. Does he try to play on the yellow into the top left next, or does he try and get down table? Depends what angle he's got. We're just about to find out. They can spit these out if you're not accurate as well when you're so close. Well, he's all right. No, I don't know actually.
His position. The next position shot is the.
Yeah, the problem. Yeah, I mean, he'd have to play this with rakes and rakes and rakes of drag and right hand side to try and maybe cannon the yellow this to the right of the red now. It's such a difficult shot, which then makes the pot more difficult. Oh wow,
great shot.
What a beauty, absolute beauty that is. Twice across, played it with a lot of pace, a lot of conviction. Not out of the woods yet. He's probably still going to have to leave this black at distance. Is he going to top well? It looks like he's twice across. It's a brilliant shot. Really good. What a finish that is from Dean Shields.
Very good finish that. Other professional matches in play. We got JJ and Corey Reese. JJ 4, Corey Reese at 4-all. Luke Sanches is 2-1 up on Drew Hughes. Clint Aronson 1-0 with Ryan Clark. And Christy Caulfield is 3-1 up on Craig Marsh.
Played Christie earlier, he played very well. Really well. I lost 8-7 to him. It was actually a really good standard match. I went 4-0 down and I'd made one mistake, and then we must have done 7 or 8 off the break between us. You know, either dry or... It was a really, really good standard match. He played very well, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does go on to beat Craig Marsh. It's the best I've played in quite a while, to be honest. I haven't been practicing that much recently, but I did play well. And yeah, lost 8-7 to Christie, so good luck to Christie. I don't think Liam Dunster's going to need much luck in this frame. These yellows are absolute sitters. I really can't see what could possibly go wrong here. And even if something did go wrong, the reds are awful. But it's such a well-controlled break. You know, you get what you deserve in this game, and you know, he's played him well. He doesn't get a lot of plaudits for his break, Liam, but I think it's quite underrated. You know, he's one of the only players I've ever seen that's happy to change between a cut break and a front ball break mid-match. He can do both equally well. He seems to, well, when I say the only players, loads of people do it, but he seems to do it at the right time. He seems to understand when and what table. Yeah, every table breaks slightly differently. He seems to really understand well what tables need what breaks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very intelligent player.
Suspension called.
Just the last thing that can go wrong. He's just...
Yeah. Go on.
If the two reds on the left-hand side of the table weren't there, I think he'd have played this by now, and then he's just going to punch the yellow into the bottom left corner and stun over to where those two reds are. But he's always one step ahead of the game, just kind of thinking to himself, well, he doesn't want to leave himself hampered queuing, you know, if he does play that shot. So you might well see now that he tops it through and plays the bottom of the two yellows next, which he definitely wouldn't have done if the reds on the left hand side of the table weren't there. Just a little bit worried about the hampered queuing.
He's playing at the top one, isn't he?
Yeah, so he has played it. But you see, that's why he took so much time 2 shots ago when he played the yellow into the top left corner. He took so much time over it because he understood that he had to leave himself dead straight on this one that he's just played to be able to leave himself this shot. If he was just off straight, he'd have been leaving himself even more hampered queuing than what he is. Always thinking 2, 3, 4 shots ahead. Oh, and that is... well, obviously this is what we've just been speaking about for the last minute, but he was just worried about being hampered queuing there, and that's why he sort of just took his time over it all. But I think he's getting the cue ball clean now. I don't know if that's a bit of the old oh, it wasn't my fault kind of thing, but I don't know. I think he's just under it, isn't he?
It looked like he underhit it.
Yeah.
Gives himself a chance to cool down before taking the next shot.
Yeah. Give himself a... The clock stops as well.
Yep.
Every trick in the book. Now is he looking at playing a full length for the table double? Is he just going to cut it in? Side cushion first?
No, looks like he's going for the cut.
I mean, the white could be going anywhere, couldn't it? Not often you have to see Liam pull something out of the hat.
Will he play into the 2 red? No,
He's
he's
got
gone
it.
up and down.
Oh, he's not gone behind him, has he? I think he's alright. Is he alright? He's apologised to Dean, so he is. A really thin cut, and don't get me wrong, look, he's played a great shot there. Does he deserve to be on the black? Yeah, he probably does, but heart would have been in his mouth for a second there. Liam Dunster takes a 4-2 lead, and aside from, I suppose you can call that a mistake, but he's recovered it. Still not made a mistake that's cost him a frame.
And he's capable of keeping this up all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, he's capable of keeping this up all weekend.
Yeah.
By all accounts.
Frame 7 being shown for the break. Remaining 4 frames to 2. Time running.
Yeah, big break, hit him well. Oh, where's the cue ball? Oh, he's okay. He's alright. I think, you know, the reds and yellows look pretty good, to be honest. His biggest problem from first look, his biggest problem is going to be his opening shot. If he takes reds, he can play this red into the bottom right corner. But is he losing the cue ball? Is it going over towards that black and yellow? Doesn't want to be snooking afterwards. Can go yellows, but then has he got an easy opener? Crucial part of the match for Dean. He doesn't want to go 5-2 down against anybody, let alone DM Dunster. He's playing the yellow in the middle. Nicely done, and the yellow just below the black goes into the bottom left hand corner pocket, so that's not an issue. He can play this yellow top left. He should leave himself an angle after this to, I was going to say break his bad ball out, but I don't think he's on it. So that's a mistake from Dean, but he can recover this. He can play the one just below the cue ball into the bottom right corner pocket and screw back down table. The two yellows that are together top right, ideally he wants to play the one right next to the pocket into that corner pocket, and just punch that other yellow up towards the left, the right middle pocket. He's got the angle to do that now. He just wants to punch this up towards that right middle pocket, leave the cue ball where it is, so he's on the yellow into the left corner pocket. So it's all about the pace that he plays this at now. Doesn't want to leave it on the side cushion, but doesn't want to push it too far past the middle pocket so he's on the cushion either. It's all about the pace. Well, there we go, so he could get into it even more. He was obviously closer to that first red than it looked, so he's played a lovely shot there. And the key to this frame is just going to be getting on that final yellow. Yes, it's good enough. I mean, he could have played that at more pace, but the white might have thrown a little bit and he might have risked cannoning the red that he was right next to, so he's just left himself at a bit of distance. I always fancy Dean to get these sort of slightly longer mid-range pots. He's played that really well. Played very well so far, Dean. 4-3. So Liam switched back over to the left-hand side of the table to break this time. Still going with the side break. Another dry one though. He's had a couple of dry ones now, Liam. Dean Shields first in again.
I think he was looking at the plant. Well, yeah, he's looking at the red onto the yellow.
Yeah, red onto yellow. I mean, if they're touching ball, then actually it's almost like a reverse plant. So he'll play the left-hand side of the red.
Yeah.
To straighten it up. As it is, it looks like it just about goes in off the far jaw. But yellows don't look too bad. Another one of those. It's a tricky finish. It's not, but nothing really needs to be moved. The two yellows that are next to the black are an issue. But you'd rather be at the table than your opponent. He's actually going reds. So on the flip side, when you go reds, you've got your main problem is top left-hand corner of the table, but he has got the perfect ball to break into it from, so it's all going to be about how that cannon goes. Needs to keep going. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So you've got the angle to break into this. The only problem is, in my opinion, it's one of those where, I don't know, you're 50-50 if it comes out good. Sometimes you go into a bout and you think, oh, 9 times out of 10 this is going to come out good. I don't think this is much more than 50-50. Sometimes you might even get a double kiss, or you might flick off the red and the white comes down the table like this, but a little bit further. He hasn't really got into it enough, so what was a small problem's now a big problem.
Is he looking at an outrageous cut?
He's looking at cutting the red into the right middle, coming off 2 cushions and leave himself an angle on the red in the middle of the table to break out his what will then be his last red. So I don't know if he's quite got the angle. I think he's just about has. I think. Be a hell of a finish this. I mean, it wasn't easy from the start, but it's almost more impressive sometimes when you run out of position and keep recovering it. He's looking at, can he just leave a double? Maybe that's a smart move. Yeah, he's just leaving a double. I quite like that as well, because if he went into it cushion first and nudged the red, there was a chance he could then hide behind the yellow. So he's lifted himself a double.
Just got to keep the white out the way.
Yeah, if he'd love for it to have just stopped a little bit more. He feels like he's got to dig in and almost pinch into this a little bit, so and get the white out of the way to avoid the double kiss. He's played it. Yeah, he just missed it, and yeah, the writing's on the wall there. I think we're looking at 5-3. 5-3 Liam, but he almost got it. It was a tricky finish, wasn't it? It was a good effort, but the cannon just came out bad, and yeah, it's one of the sort of chances you feel like you need to take, though, when you're playing someone like Liam and he's in the form that he's in.
Yeah, he still hasn't missed the ball in the whole match, has he?
No, but he's messed up there. He's underhit that. I think we know what's coming here. Not shy of the tactical side of the game, Liam Dunster. So Probably just going to see him take his medicine and leave Dean Shields in a snooker.
Yeah, is he looking to tap the yellow and try and replace the white and the yellow to switch them round?
He could do. Yeah, not what he wanted, but he's took his medicine. Tough one for Dean as well, because I mean it's not that tough for him to hit it, but he's actually looking at the possibility of coming off 2 cushions and trying to pot it into this middle pocket. It's be a hell of a shot, and I think he'll be playing it with running right hand side as well, because the natural angle won't get him there. Yeah, I think he needed to play it a bit right hand side, but well, it's so tough from there. And now we're looking at almost certainly going to be 5-3 to Liam Dunster.
Yeah, just got to drop a couple of balls in and...
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is I mean this is all but over. These are the little things you see Liam does that other players just maybe don't do. You know, he's got 4 very easy yellows left. He just takes the extra 2 or 3 seconds each shot, and the end result is he just never messes these up. Whereas as easy as they are, once there's 4 balls left, as easy as they are, other players will mess it up 1 in 50, where they'll just, because they're so easy, you almost take your eye off the ball, play a slack shot, run slightly out of position. Liam just never does it.
No.
Ever. You know, he does the simple stuff. I was listening to Stephen Hendry commentate on the snooker recently, and he said about with his comeback and whatever, and he just said that for him it was all about just trying to make sure he does the simple stuff really well, and as he's always, you know, you do the simple stuff well and you're going to be really hard to beat, and Liam does that. I think he does the simple stuff better than anybody. Just the simple little stun shots, 2-3 inches, where if you slightly overhit it, slightly underhit it, all of a sudden the clearance starts to unravel because 3 shots down the line you're having to play a difficult shot. He makes the game look so easy when he's under pressure as well, you know, when it really matters.
Yeah, he never seems to run out of position. They're very rare.
It's his touch, yeah. It's
because he's not hitting the ball hard for position.
Yeah, it looks so effortless, doesn't it? Yeah. So these breaks for Dean are becoming more and more important. Hasn't been 3 frames behind yet in this match. Probably can't afford to go 3 frames behind either. Crunched him again. It's a great break from Dean Shields. Really good break. I was looking at this pro event now as well, and the last 16 we were looking at. So Luke Sanchez is now 5-2 up on Drew Hughes. Ryan Clark 3-1 up on the informed Clint Johansson. Christy Caulfield, who was 3-1 up on Craig Marsh, only what felt like 10-15 minutes ago, is now 6-3 down. A hell of a game going on over there. So we look here at Dean Shields, who's looking every bit like going 5-4. Liam just can't get rid of him. He's been ahead the entire game. Felt like he might run away with it at one point when it was 2-0 and 3-1, but Dean's playing really well. I think Dean's definitely breaking better than Liam. I could definitely see him winning the match based on that. Seems to be hitting the break really well. I don't know if Dean's is he just about okay? Is he too straight? I don't know if he likes this.
Extension call.
He must feel he's going to go into the black.
It does look like it.
Yeah.
It's these little things that can cause you trouble in a frame. Is he okay? I think he's alright.
Yeah.
His body language suggests he's okay. He's going to have to go in and out into this left-hand side cushion and back across. So he's going to play this at pace. Doesn't want to be running into the yellow. I think he's played that really well. Really well. So good performances from Dean. Very good. It's been a very high quality match from both players. Very good standard. 5-4 to Liam Dunster.
Yeah, I think they're giving a good performance on there.
It's been brilliant. It's been a really good match. Liam with his customary study of the pack. And he wipes the chalk marks off of probably where he broke from last. And off he goes again. Second ball down break. He likes to go into the side cushion and then straight back towards where he first hit the pack. That's his break. He's hit that perfect. It's exactly how he wanted to hit it, but I think yet again, he hasn't made a ball. And I haven't been keeping count, but it's at least 3 times now out of his 5 breaks where he hasn't made a ball. And it's kind of given Dean Shields first opportunity, but I think this is one of the first ones where he seems to have left Dean a fairly easy finish. You see that there has opened the frame up for Dean. Now, these aren't absolute gimmies because you've got the red at the sort of in and around the black spot that's going to need a bit of getting on. But he's playing really well, Dean. I fancy him to get these. I think that red does go into the bottom right hand corner pocket as well, the one that's near the black spot. So, is he trying to get on it now? No.
Oh, he's going to play for these two up here first, isn't he? Most players now use one end of the table first.
Yeah, they like to go in sections, don't they? You know, clear up in top half of the table first, then come down to the bottom.
Or vice versa if the black is up the other end.
Yeah, I mean, one of the players I seem to see doesn't do that much is Ben Davis. Actually, he'll happily, if he sees the route and he sort of plans his, I suppose you call it, pattern play, don't you? 8-ball pattern play. He'll often go up the table, down the table, up the side. If he sees it, he's one of my favourite players to watch. Ben Davis. He'll see it and he'll get on with it. But once he's seen it, he goes kind of thing. He doesn't mess around. But yeah, most players, I think they do try and, where possible, clear up in sections of the table. Dean's just a little bit like betwixt and between here. He's not quite happy enough to play this red into the bottom right, although it looks like he's going to. The other shot he can play is this red into the bottom left with lots of right hand side and bring the white up the left hand side of the table. But this is a nervy shot. He's played it really well. Doesn't want to be hampered queuing. Ooh. I don't know just how hampered he is. Oh, I think he might be alright. I think he might be able to cue the centre of the cue ball actually. Looking from the overhead. Yeah, so slightly hampered queuing, but he's not completely jacking up. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed it. What a miss that is from Dean Shields. Oh, he's going to be gutted. That was frame over. He gets those.
Yeah, that was a big shot, really.
Yeah.
5-all.
Yeah.
And he's breaking again. So.
He's breaking again as well, yeah, and he's been breaking so well. But now, we're going to see what Liam Dunster's made of here, because this isn't easy. Yeah, you've got the yellow in the bottom right-hand corner of the table. What's he going to do with that? We've got a couple of yellows on the side cushion, on the left-hand side of the table. This frame is far from over. Are we seeing Liam just play safe?
Yeah, it looks like just all the way up there.
Looks like he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good shot. It's a very good shot. Cushion first for Dean. He's made the hit, so there's no foul shot there. But again, control handed over to Liam. Yeah, it's nicely done now. You know, is he going to play a skill shot? It's possible. He could do it. Bottom right corner pocket. Does he need to? Is the other question, because if he can play one of these yellows into the bottom left hand corner pocket, running left hand side, he may well be able to play the skill shot here. He's tried it. He's tried it, but he's not made it. Now, if the red that's over this bottom right-hand corner pocket was right in the centre of the pocket, we'd just see Liam play directly behind the yellow and play it as a skill shot. And he still can do that. It's just a little bit more difficult because that red is tucked into the side of the pocket. So it's a bit more of a difficult skill shot to execute, but he's going to have to play it sooner or later.
Now he's looking to get on one in the middle to play this skill shot there, I think. He's just missed it.
Yeah, he's just run out of position a little bit, so we're...
Can you see enough?
It's tight. It's very tight.
Now we can play it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's actually just going to play onto this yellow into the left corner pocket, or into even the left middle pocket.
Yeah.
All depends as to what angle he can leave himself.
Yeah, looks like he's decided to take the yellow first, get that one out the way.
Yeah. Now, this really is the kind of shot that is made for Liam Dunster. This is all about the touch. It's all about judging the speed. This is where your hours and hours and hours of practice repeating that cue action comes into play. I think he's setting up for the skill shot, yeah. The last thing he wants to be is hampered queuing. That is no good. That is no good if he can't cue to it, but if he can get through to the centre of the cue ball, which it looks like he can, he doesn't look too worried about it. The skill shots are quite a lot more difficult than it looks, because like I say, that red's tucked right into the right hand side of the jaw. Much more difficult than it would almost be a gimme if it was hanging over the centre of the pocket, but I fancied him to get it. Yeah, great shot. Fantastic shot. Liam Dunster. A big clearance was needed. You know, Dean's missed his last ball, but they weren't easy. And he's just played a really clever frame there. He's played the one safety shot. He's gone in for the kill, and it looks like he's got it. It's black for 6-4. That's there. Very well played. Just going to see a replay there of the skill shot. Just about makes it. He didn't play at a great deal of pace as well. It's all about just, you know, a little bit of stun, you know, bottom spin on the ball to get the reaction that he needs. He played it really well, especially under pressure.
Confirmation that Craig Marsh did beat Christy Caulfield 8-3.
Well, it's his second 8-3 win of the day, having just beaten Kev Bart on 8-3 as well.
And Corey Rees has beaten JJ Fall 8-5.
Yeah, so that's actually going to be our next stream match. What a game that's going to be.
Was that
Corey
and John McAllister?
Corey Rees and John McAllister. In the last 16. What a game that is. Another break from Dean. Another really good break from Dean. They kind of feel a little bit like, I'm pretty sure Liam's played a perfect match, to be honest. He's run out of position a couple of times, but he's recovered it.
Yeah.
But he hasn't actually kind of missed a chance or made a proper mistake. Whereas Dean has played a couple and missed a couple of balls and just one or two, you know, made a couple of mistakes. But Dean's getting first chance more often. Liam's had at least 3 dry breaks so far. Dean's breaking really well. I mean, these ones are gone. You know, he's at a really good break here, and it's got to feel tough for Liam because he's playing so well, but because he's not making a ball off the break, he just can't shake Dean Shields off.
That's right, and if Dean had taken his chances in a couple of the previous frames, it'd be a different match.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Dean's had more chances than Liam in this match. He's just missed that one or two crucial ones, and Liam, sort of clinical as ever, does what Liam does. But we could be looking at 6-5 again. 6-5 now, sorry, reducing the gap to 1 again. And he just can't seem to shake Dean Shields off. He's playing really well. I think he messed up in the first frame. Dean, and then third or fourth frame as well, he made a mistake to that you know we could have won the frame. But apart from that, we've had 9 or 10 perfect frames of Paul. It's been brilliant to watch. Another breaking finish from Dean Shields. Pressure's back on, 6-5. So Liam's just about to come over and check that the referee's racked the balls, as Liam wants him to have done, to make sure that there's no gaps in between the balls, that there's a tight rack. And then he'll come over and decide whether, based on what he sees, he'll decide where he's going to break from. There he is, comes over, little study. Well, I'm happy with that. He's got, yeah. Rub his chalk marks off from where he broke previously. And then he goes. Needs to make a ball. He can't keep getting away with it. Dry breaking. Dean's playing well. Well, he's made a ball. He's made a ball. He's made a yellow. He's not really on a yellow. I mean, you could play a bit of a mad 3-ball plant here, and you know, but the red's the obvious one that he's on. Tricky finish though. Nowhere near as easy as the finish that Dean just had to go at in the previous frame. Well,
Yeah, he tried to screw between the yellow and red and get on it in the same pocket.
he did, yeah. I reckon he might still be on this, you know. I reckon there is a gap there. It'd be a typical Liam Dunster clearance. If he just lands on it, drops it in, flicks off one of the yellows.
Yeah, there's a gap there, but I think he's going to take the red into the middle.
Yeah, and then come back for that red later on, maybe.
Yeah. I don't think he can pop the red into the middle. I think he's looking at this red here now. He's on up the top corner.
Yeah, top left corner pocket,
Yeah.
and it's a tough clearance this for Liam. But I think it is one of those where he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to break anything out. If he can just do typical Liam Dunster style, you know, cue ball on a string. I think there is a very small gap that he can land on in between these two yellows. In between that are on the line of the two middle pockets. If he can land the white somewhere in between those two yellows, in between the middle pockets, I think the red will go. Doesn't seem too concerned about breaking it out.
Has he got it?
Well, he definitely hasn't got it there. I don't think. I think he's just come a little bit further than he wanted to as well, so I don't think he's ideal here at all.
Oh, he's looking where to position the white there.
It's a massive shot in the context of this match. So look, okay,
He's on it.
He's probably on it now. Does he play it now? Does he play it now? But this is kind of a... Really, he's going to take some figuring out. Does he play on it now and then rely on a bit of luck, flicking half ball off one of the yellows on the way back out? Does he play the red that he's on now and try and cannon the yellow that's directly above the red on the left-hand side cushion? He's trusting to luck a little bit. It's a beautiful shot. Absolutely beautiful. He almost looks like he's not happy there. He's perfect. Just cut that in the middle pocket. Bottom cushions, back up the table. This is brilliant. What a clearance this has been. Absolutely brilliant. He couldn't have played that. He couldn't have played that any softer. Dead weight. Absolute dead weight. Flicked off the yellow on the way back out. He just wanted to leave himself something. Just any shot. Yeah, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Liam Dunster. Absolute masterclass. That's why he's world number one. There isn't a player in the world at the moment, in my opinion, that is better than him. There isn't a player on the planet at the moment that I would back against him in a long race. It's just too consistent. Too consistent. Anything that could let him down, he's a breaking great in this match, but sometimes he does break great, and then you just, you really are up against it. But you can see why he's the number one on the tour at the moment. Ultra consistent. He kind of does. He kind of does special stuff without it really looking that special.
Yeah, he's so precise.
It's exactly that. Yeah. If you can place the cue ball with your hand every shot, then the game's so easy, isn't it?
Mm.
And it kind of feels a little bit like that's what he does sometimes. It's great to watch. But Dean's got to tell himself he's been breaking well. He's got 2 of the breaks out of the final 3 frames. So if he can clear off his 2 breaks, all he's got to rely on is a dry one from Liam. He's got a chance in this match still. Needs to make a ball. Oh, where's the cue ball? He's alright. He's made a ball. They look pretty good again. They look pretty good.
I think he'd prefer yellows if he's got a shot on it.
Yeah, he might have to resort to a 3-ball plant, but it's quite an easy one. Anything that can go wrong is where the yellows go after he makes the plant. But look, he's made a ball and he's in. He should be happy, yeah. He's just a little bit worried about the first yellow that he's going to play. Yeah, it's just where that's going to go, and that's exactly what he was worried about. And rightly so. He was trusting a little bit to luck there. There was probably an argument for him to have played it a little bit softer. But, yeah, now he's got a problem.
Yeah, which pole does he go for?
Well, does he? He's going to have a couple of chances. I mean, the one that's closest to the 2 that are together, as long as he leaves himself an angle on that, he can go into it from there. So it might well be what he's thinking. So he's going to come around now to study where he wants to leave. As you can see, directly in a line from where he's standing, where he's pointing his cue. That's where he wants the white. And if he can do that, he's going to be able to put that yellow into the top left corner pocket and break into the other 2. He's just about got there, has he?
Yeah, he's in.
Just about got there. Now he can play this top and left hand side. Probably a bit of pace, but you need to make sure that you get the cannon. That's number 1. So Probably more left-hand side than top. Well. Oh, he's just caught it a little bit too thick. So he's caught the cannon full ball really. You wanted to just graze off the side of it, but
Does the yellow near the cue ball, does it pass the next yellow and into the middle?
that's tough. I don't know
Or
about
is
that.
or was he looking at a plant?
I was looking at a plant. I mean, could he just play a little deft little shot where he just taps into it and tries to snooker him on it? He's tried to play the plant. It's a great effort, but yeah, it's just
Could be his last shot.
yeah, could well be his last shot. You'd put your house on this being his last shot. He's just one of those guys. He just doesn't ever seem to miss a crucial clearance, Liam. Nicely done. I mean, the thing that Dean's got to cling on to here is that it is the black and that final red. So the black doesn't go into the bottom left-hand corner pocket. Liam's he's probably gonna play the red into the bottom right corner and just slide below and play the black into the left middle. But one of those, you want to be quite close to it. It's the last thing Dean Shields can hope for, but just while he does this, update from the pro event. So we've got Luke Sanges is 6-5 up on Drew Hughes. Clint Johansson is 5-4 down to Ryan Clark, the informed Clint Johansson. Craig Marsh is just 183. And then we just got a couple of matches going on now. A couple of great matches. Jack Whelan, Gav Robinson. And then we've got Ross Fernie against Mark Farnsworth. Ben Davis will play Andrew McKee shortly. And then after the conclusion of this match, we've got Corey Reese against John McAllister. That's tie of the round for me. That's why that's on the red button. Now, it seems to me like Liam's done most of the hard work here. This is the last thing that can go wrong for him. Is he going to just roll this in and play the black into the left middle? Is he going to play it with a little bit of stun and come across to the left-hand side of the table and play the black into the bottom right corner pocket? I fancy he's just going to roll it in. He has.
Your choices.
Yeah, he's just a little bit in between shots here. He's almost perfect. This in the left middle. Fancy him to get this. A really, really good performance from Liam Dunster if he can finish this. Yeah, he's made it. He's played absolutely brilliant there, Liam. I mean, he hasn't broken great, but he has played absolutely brilliant from start to finish. Cue ball on a string, masterclass, and just an example of why he's currently the #1 player on the planet. So, yeah, well played Liam Dunster. That's him into the quarterfinals again. And yeah, shortly we are going to have Corey Reese against John McAllister. I can see Corey just in the background, just walking back through to the main arena. I'm just going to grab a couple of words with grab a couple of words with our winner Liam Dunster. The interview will be done by Kevin Barton.
You join us once again down in the arena, and I'm delighted to be joined by pro number 1 Liam Dunster. Pretty good performance there, Liam.
Yeah, I felt like I played really well. I broke well in the first half, and then my break kind of deserted me a wee bit. But luckily for me, I'm playing that well that the break didn't really matter in that match. I took advantage of almost every chance I had. I think there was only one that I didn't take advantage of, and that's when I played a safety shot. But other than that, I've finished everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you always looked in control in the match, but Dean was always at your heels, always getting that one frame behind, just couldn't quite get level.
Yeah, always that 1 or 2 frames in front of him. Every time I got 2 in front of him, I thought, right, this will be the frame I'll kick on, and then he's broken dished, and then whether I've dished or broken dished or whatever, and he's broken dished again. I'm like, I just needed time to stop breaking dishing, but luckily for me, it's first to 8. Yeah.
You got a bye in the first round, and so you had to wait quite a bit of time to play your match. Did that have any impact on you at all?
No, not really. Just chilled out in the room. Watched a few matches in the other room. Yeah, it didn't really have an effect. No.
Okay, and great to be playing in the arena in front of the BBC in a big event here on the Isle of Man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm still excited to be playing. Obviously with COVID and stuff like that, I wasn't playing for a wee while, but no, it's definitely good to be back. Yeah.
Well, great performance, Liam, and hopefully we'll see you later.